I think, important improvement. If you notice the little rubber washer here, originally I drilled and tapped these holes to tighten my clamps into my caps. I had the straps going down to the cell, and depending on that plastic to tighten them in place. When the plastic's good and hard, it felt good, and then I put my nut and my leads on the outside. Well, I had a minor explosion. Cap heated up just a little bit, allowed the strap to come loose inside the upper area where there's gas, above your water level. And at the time, this is just my test hose here, I had running from my unit over to a cup of water over here. This test hose lit up like a neon light and blew off this barb fitting right here. Kind of scary. I just barely had it on. I don't know what would happen if I'd had it on there really tight. Probably just would have blown out of the water on the other end, but luckily it was just a kind of wake-up call to find a better way of doing that. So now, let's see. Here's my little race car here. This is actually the cap I was using during the explosion. If you notice, there's nothing wrong with those holes. They look nice and clean. So what I did first, I just made sure all my connections were really, really tight, because I didn't want to lose connection inside that gas. Okay, so that's when I had this happen. Look at that burnt, melted, where the nut melted into the cap. And then look at the back side. That's close to being a fire right there. This, believe it or not, did not cause an explosion. It did cause me to run and take my jumper cables off and kind of walk away from the car for a while to let it cool down because there was smoke coming off of it. But that's when I decided to improve it a little more. So, see, I don't have the strap out here with me. Let me go get that. Okay, I believe this is my first homemade cell. I chose to have the positive in the middle, negative go down the other side, across the bottom and up. I'm going to do some testing to see. I know a lot of people are using positive on the outside, negative in the middle. I'm not sure the process knows the difference. Be interesting to see if one way is more hydrogen and less oxygen or vice versa, but I have a feeling it makes no difference. But anyway, on the safety issue, what I've done now is, instead of these tapped and threaded holes, on my other unit that's in the car now, I've drilled that out. Just with that was a number 7 bit and 1/4 tap. I have now just drilled it out to a 1/4 inch. Then I'm putting my bolt through the strap. How to do one hand. Then I'm putting a nut on there and tighten it very good, as tight as I can get it without tripping something. And then I'm putting the bolt through the hole in the cap with the rubber washer, and then I'm putting a rubber washer and a nut on the outside and tightening that pretty well, not as tight as you can, because all you are is squeezing against rubber and plastic. Then I'm putting another nut on the outside of that to hold my lead. And I've thought about even having 2 nuts on the outside, like a jam nut, tighten them up really tight so they can't move, and then 1 additional nut to hold my lead. The main point being, you don't want any loose connections in your unit where you have gas. It's just not a good thing. And I'm going to work on that. I'm probably going to eventually go to my leads being underneath the water, where I don't even have that issue, or a fully saturated unit so you have no got in the top. Got to work on that a little. Got to work on the just like everybody else, the performance versus the overheating issue. PVC might not be a good thing. It's easy, found everywhere, but just may not be the right stuff for what we're doing. More on that later. Well, let me show you my